22 people have died, 60 people been injured in the attack at the concert last night after the Ariana Grande concert in Manchester, England. This is a very heavy topic, and a lot of people talking about it today because so many teenagers were there. So many children were targeted. What do you tell your kids in a situation like this? Are you safe anywhere? Dr. Markesha Miller, a psychotherapist, is here with us now and a child expert. Dr. Miller, you know, I'm not going to lie. I woke up this morning as a parent of, do I bring this up to my child? Do I wait for him to hear about it, or do I not mention it at all? How do we know what is right?
And I think you definitely are not alone. So many parents are probably wondering that. And the idea is that children are going to see it, okay? Children are going to watch the news, or they're going to hear about it. And so with that, because of the fact that we know they're going to hear about it, we have to approach it, but we have to be very delicate about it. Because the underlying factor is there are a lot of adults that don't even understand what is happening.
All of us feel a little afraid now.
Absolutely.
This really shakes your sense of safety because it's in a place where you thought you were safe. A concert, music, a celebration of love, and kids all together. Explain to me the thoughts behind that.
Well, you know, it's a terror attack, and one of the things that we know historically is that they're meant to instill fear. That's one of the things that we know. And when you think about it, even thinking back to 9/11, thinking back to the Emanuel 9, all of those situations instilled anxiety into people because people were afraid about going to gatherings and what does that mean, and you know, how should I protect myself and my families. So all of those feelings are so normal, but I think it's important. Two things need to happen. The discussion definitely needs to occur, talking about the fact that we know we live in a world where people make bad decisions. Evil exists around us. I think that's one of the things we want to shield our children from, but we can't. That evil does exist, and there are some people out there who do bad things.
As far as our kids go, okay, I know, you know, I can hear teenagers, you know, complaining to mom and dad, you're too protective. I want to go to the basketball game. I want to go to the football game.
Right.
And now there's going to be moms and dads that aren't going to want their kids to go. How does that discussion happen? And is it okay to use something like this as an example when you're explaining to your kids why you're worried?
Most definitely. You know, we teach our kids, look both ways before you cross the street. We teach our kids, you know, don't talk to strangers. So I think this conversation means being aware of your surroundings, what is happening. We have to be cautious about where we are, the surroundings, things that are happening. You know, so it really implements a conversation of not letting your guard down. So I think that it is a conversation that we can use this and so many other traumatic things that we've seen to have this conversation with kids as a learning piece.
I think most of us today, not even just kids, most of us with a heart woke up today feeling anxious.
Absolutely.
I felt anxious today when I woke up. What do you do about that anxiety?
It's kind of like, what do you expect? And it is normal. First and foremost, I think it's important to validate it. You know, should I feel this way? You know, there was a young lady a couple of weeks ago who told me, I get nervous now every time I go to church. You know, going back to the Emanuel 9. And so every time something happens tragic, there's this vicarious feeling that we all get because we recognize it could have been my child, it could have been us. And so the first thing we have to do is to validate it and normalize it, and then talk through it. You know, this is a time where we need to have this conversation. You know, as we're having it today on Friends at 5, we need to have these conversations at work, have them with your family members, and most importantly, have them with your kids.
Might want to have with your kids before they hear about it someplace else.
Absolutely.
All right, Dr. Miller, she's sticking around to have another